one more piece of silly season news here, and then we'll go into the end of the show. But we've been talking about Harrison Burton, Brandon, and where he might end up next season. We got our answer this week. He's going to be full time in the AM racing car in 2025, so he is ultimately going to take that step back down to Xfinity. But as we've seen with Cole Custer, it's worked out quite well for him. Harrison, much like Cole in that regard, I guess getting that one Cup Series win before having to take that step back. How do you think he's going to fit in next year at AM Racing? Obviously, the Haley Deegan situation didn't work out great this year, and now they're just trying to get through the end of the year with a rotation of drivers. But do you think that Harrison might be able to come in and provide some stability for that program and maybe even be in contention for some race wins next year?
Definitely. I think he's going to provide some stability, especially for just forward performance in the Xfinity Series, which I think is something besides Cole Custer that they've really been struggling to find. And Joey Logano's performance right after the Deegan incident at Chicago sort of gave me hope for the AM racing car. And then also, I think Josh Berry was in it the weekend after that. But those sort of gave me some hope with, okay, as far as AM Racing's performance, what are they capable of with someone behind the wheel that, maybe just plain and simple has some more experience. Harrison Burton might be able to fulfill that role. And I've sort of been waiting on him to come back to the Xfinity Series because I look back to 2020. That's where he did so well. And, you mentioned it very similar of just getting one win in Cup like Cole Custer before going back to the grind and coming back to earth, I guess. Just going to have to capitalize on this opportunity. I think he can, and he definitely will be an improvement for AM Racing, not a detriment. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, again, it's tough to look at this year's results for that car and think, that maybe Harrison's going to be in contention for wins next year. But I think to your point, there has been a little bit more speed. And you would expect, regardless of if it's Deegan or not, just any Xfinity Series driver, I would hope that when a Cup Series driver, particularly a Cup Series champion, gets behind the wheel of that car, that you're getting the absolute maximum out of whatever the equipment is going to be capable of giving you. And we know now, of course, they have that technical alliance with Stewart-Haas, so it shouldn't be too surprising that Joey Logano ran as well as he did and was as fast as he was when he was in that car. So we'll see. I think it's a great opportunity for Harrison. At least he's going to be racing somewhere, and I think certainly after Daytona, I think that it would have been a crying shame if he had been on the sidelines to start next year. But this, I think, could be a very good opportunity still within the Ford family. Maybe you don't necessarily want to burn any bridges in this sport. There might be an opportunity down the road to get back into Cup. But to your point about how he ran in Xfinity, I think he set the world on fire in 2020 with all those wins. And 2021, by no means was terrible, but wasn't breaking into victory lane like that. But then I think, got that Cup opportunity in 22. I think they saw the next gen era as a situation where everybody's going to be a rookie in some sense. So this is probably as good a time as any to get him in a Cup car. But he probably did need a couple more years in Xfinity before he made that jump. Now he's going to get those couple of years. So we'll see if he can go down the Cole Custer path and compete for, success in Xfinity. And then maybe that leads, 2027, 28 or so. Maybe a Cup opportunity opens back up for him.
Yeah, I think we were all sold in 2022 about it's going to be a level playing field, I mean, certainly we did have a record number of winners that year, but also we found out very quickly when you come to certain places, definitely not the case of a completely level playing field, maybe as it was being advertised.